that's one big story, but there's another big one taking place in India. That is, of course, the polls in the southern Indian state of Karnataka. My colleague Palki Sharma Upadhyay is joining us in the studio right now. I'm going to hand over to her for that particular segment. It's over to you, Palki.
Thank you. Yes, it is voting day and we are waiting for the results of the exit polls shortly. Joining us this evening, P. Muralidhar Rao, National General Secretary of the BJP, also election in charge for Karnataka from that party, joining us live from Bengaluru. Dr. Shashi Tharoor, MP and a very senior leader from the Congress party with us from New Delhi, and Mohandas Pai, who's a prominent Bangalorean, needs no introduction, joining us on this special discussion. Good evening to all of you. Dr. Tharoor, let me begin with you. No incumbent has returned to power in the state of Karnataka since 1985. What gives the Congress party the confidence that it will? Right, we'll try and reconnect with our guests. My colleague Nishita is also with us from Bengaluru, has been tracking the pulse of this election-bound state. Nishita, the turnout has been not as encouraging, as big as the Election Commission was hoping for. 61% overall, only 41% Bengaluru.
That's right. In fact, that is still 5 p.m. So we're still awaiting the final figures till 6 p.m. what the voter turnout really is. It's usually peaks in the last couple of hours in Karnataka, as is in any other state. Last time Karnataka recorded about 71% voter turnout. Bengaluru recorded about 57% overall. But last time there was a very strong sense of anti-incumbency against the BJP government. This time it is a waveless election. Analysts had pointed out as to how unrealistic it was to expect the voter turnout to surpass that of 2013, and it is expected that anywhere in the late 60s probably the voter turnout could stand, details of which we will receive probably at around 8 p.m. when the Election Commission is expected to address a press conference. It has largely been an
Right, almost 5 crore voters, 3.5 lakh security personnel, more than 2,600 candidates. That pretty much sums up the picture of Karnataka for us. Dr. Tharoor is with us. Good evening, Shashi Tharoor. My question to you was this. No incumbent, as you would know, has returned to power in Karnataka in the last 35 years. What gives your party the confidence that it is going to buck this trend?
Precisely the fact that there is no anti-incumbency. When I was out there campaigning last week, it was very clear to me that people accepted the proposition that this is a government that has fulfilled 95% of its campaign manifesto promises from the previous election, and the remaining 5% are very much in process. And so there was a sense that here is a government that has been working. No one is perfect. Not all problems are going to be solved with a magic wand overnight. But because there was no anti-incumbency, I just tuned in, as your colleague was saying, this is a waveless election. I would say there is certainly no negative wave. And people are weighing their votes on the basis of the positives that the government is offering. So I would say that I have every reason to be very upbeat at the end of the day today. We have differing figures for turnout. Some other channels are reporting different numbers or slightly different numbers. We'll have to see what the EC finally comes up with. But I'm reasonably confident that the Congress will emerge triumphant once again.
You say it's a waveless election. 14 of 17 opinion polls have said that it will go down the wire. They cannot predict which party is going to come with the majority. And this, as many have said, is also a battle for survival for your party, sir.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I have no doubt at all that in any scenario, the Congress will emerge as the largest single party. I think when the votes are counted, the big question is going to be, will it be more than 112 or just under? Because the fact is there are 3 parties in the fray, and one has a certain stronghold, which will give it a certain sort of nub of seats. Now, my overall view of this election is that it is important. It's a great opportunity to consolidate the momentum that the opposition has been building ever since the very narrow results of the Gujarat election. We've had the great results in Madhya Pradesh, in Rajasthan, and then most recently in UP. So the wave is with the opposition. There is a genuine sense that the BJP is on the back foot. And if we were able to drive this message home in Karnataka. It gives the opposition a continued momentum till the end of the year, when we have a new round of state elections in Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh, followed by the general election. So the argument for us is not one of survival, it's one of momentum. It's one of how do we push this forward in order to carry the momentum through to ultimate reversal of the results of 2014. If, however, there is a different result, we'll have to take stock. But I don't have to worry about survival. My party is a party that is present everywhere in the country, that rules states in the northwest, in the south, and till very recently in the northeast as well. And my gut feeling about this state election is that it will be decided principally on Carnatic issues and not national issues, but it'll help send a signal as to where the voters of this country are on the big national questions of the day.
Well, you have a way with words. So this is not about survival. This is about keeping the momentum going. Let's hear from a Bangalorean. Mohandas Pai is with us. Mr. Pai, Dr. Tharoor feels that there is no anti-incumbency, that the positive work done by the government has been accepted by the people, and they're going to keep the momentum going. Would you agree, as someone who lives in Bangalore and is perhaps better aware of the issues?
Yes, I agree with Shashi, primarily except for two reasons. I think Siddaramaiah has done very good work. He has made sure during the 3-year drought there are no rural distress. He's invested in Bangalore, invested in industry, except for the Tipu Jayanti, which has gone down badly with many people, and this Lingayat issue which created unnecessary controversy. I think he was coasting home, but in the last 15-20 days with Modi, Prime Minister Modi coming, there is a shift of votes in the constituencies where he is. So yes, there is not much of anti-incumbency in terms of program. That is very much true. Siddaramaiah has done a reasonably good job, and I think people are fond of him. But we have to see what will be the outcome, because if you look at the Yediyurappa factor, Yedi came and joined the BJP now, and if you look at the vote percentage for the last election, the outcome became much more narrower. So we have to see the percentage of voting. And I agree largely with him, but I don't think this is an indication of 2019, because people in Karnataka know very well that national issues are national issues, state issues are state issues. I agree that this election is all about state issues, it's not about national issues, it's about how to govern the state better. And we have a fairly well-educated, fairly highly, let us say, literate and knowledgeable electorate.
So you're saying that Siddaramaiah has done good work, but Prime Minister Modi may have swung some votes towards his party. What about Rahul Gandhi? He doesn't figure in your equation?
I think my personal opinion is Rahul is a poor product, because nobody knows what the message is. I mean, we all remember message of Modi ji, but we don't know what the message is, because he's not been coming here. And he doesn't have charisma for the voters of Karnataka, because we have a very strong leader in Siddaramaiah. Siddaramaiah is a strong leader, even for the Congress. Having a strong leader as the Amarinder Singh in Punjab, Siddaramaiah here will be a plus for them, because people respond to a strong local leader for a state election, and they want a strong national leader for the national election. And people are becoming more discerning, they're better focused, and less emotional than earlier in the states like Karnataka, is what I think.
Well, so that applies to Modi also, I would say. A strong national leader for a national election and a strong state leader for a state election. Let me get in P. Muralidhar Rao, who was the BJP's in charge of this Karnataka election campaign. Mr. Rao, what is your sense after the high decibel, some even would say a desperate campaign by the BJP? Do you believe that your party is going to finally get a foothold in South India?
You know, I don't call it as a desperate campaign. We have taken the campaign in a very intensive way in Karnataka, and definitely the issues which we have raised have, got the high level of resonance with the people of Karnataka. The issues like agriculture crisis, definitely this is the crisis which is very seriously taken, and the people have discussed. More than 3,500 farmers have committed suicide. Nowhere in any other state this has happened. And the same way, I don't agree with what others have been saying, that in Bangalore, the good governance was not at all visible. Bangalore is the city of hope, and Bangalore we have always seen as a 21st century where ambitions of India, not just Karnataka, ambitions and aspirations of India getting translated. So in that city, For the last 5 years, the infrastructural deficit and other things have taken serious proportion. So all these issues have become serious and seriously debated. Definitely under Yediyurappaji's leadership and definitely under the leadership of Narendra Modi ji, the campaign is well received by the people, and BJP is very confident of forming the government with absolute majority in Karnataka.
Okay, so if Bangaloreans felt so strongly about the misgovernance, why didn't they come out to vote? The latest figures saying only 40% turnout. The Election Commission was hoping for 75. That's one thing, and I call it desperate because I can tell you 24% of the contestants in this election have a criminal record, and maximum from the BJP. So that's a question that has been asked of your party. Dr. Tharoor, let me come back to the Rahul Gandhi factor. Many have said that when Congress does well in a state, it is because of a regional leader. When Congress loses, it's the national leadership that did not deliver.
I think it's unfair because people can't have it both ways. Obviously, a strong national leader has an effective local appeal, and that was true of Ms. Amarinder Singh. We're sure it's true of Mr. Siddaramaiah. But the national leadership has two major contributions to make. The first is the supportive one, to show that there is an entire country and the country's national party behind the local leader. And the second is the personal quality of the leader. In the case of Rahul Gandhi, he's only been president of the party since December. He's a relatively fresh face. Whereas Mr. Modi, though he makes all his wonderful thrasonical speeches, the fact is that people have heard these speeches now for 4 years and they realize there is very little substance behind the empty rhetoric. So it seems to me that between the two leaders, Rahul Gandhi is going to get much more traction. But at the end of the day, I agree with Mohandas Pai. This is a local election. It is about Karnataka's future. It is about what can be delivered in terms of practical development for the people of Karnataka. And people realize that it's mainly about who gets to solve their problems locally. An MLA on the spot, somebody you can have access to who can deliver on the kinds of problems you're concerned about, is what you're going to be aiming for. And the activists and others, I spoke to the neutral, unaffiliated, non-political activists of citizens groups and so on. That's what they were focused on, and I can fully understand that. So I did say that in my own remarks earlier. We will have an election that's about Karnataka, but the signal from Karnataka will, I believe, add to the momentum that the opposition has behind it over the last few months.
Right. Mr. Rao, Siddaramaiah is the first chief minister in 40 years to have completed a full 5-year term. He is a formidable opponent. Yes, in 2014, the BJP made immense gains and it also benefited from the return of Mr. Yediyurappa. But this is not 2014. There is no Modi wave. So what are you banking on, sir?
No, I don't agree with that. There is no Modi wave and there is no traction for Modi as it was.
Those are two different things, sir. Traction is one thing and a wave is another. I'm saying there's no Modi wave.
Yeah. I don't agree with what you are saying that there is no Modi wave. On 15th, definitely you will see the Modi wave is visible and you will have to accept the connect of Modi ji even on the Karnataka issues within Karnataka have been very high. So there is no question of that, dialogue between the Modi has not been successful. I don't agree with that. And the important issue which you have raised about Siddaramaiah ji is, it is not only the people who have got a kind of, a feeling of dissatisfaction about this government in Bangalore and in other parts of the state. Even within the Congress, the acceptability of Siddaramaiah ji as leader of the party and as the leader of the government has become very, very, it has reduced and it has become minimum. So the popularity of Siddaramaiah, leave about this in the state among the people within the Congress party, it has become less and less. Many leaders, they have openly said, it is not Siddaramaiah, we also are in the fray and we are also going to be the one of the contenders for the chief minister. So you can understand what is the level. And the second thing, when Siddaramaiah has decided to contest from Chamundeshwari, then afterwards Badami. So it is not only the other people or media, even within the Congress, people have given that this is not going to serve the good, it is not going to deliver the good message, and it is not going to be seen as the from the source of the strength you are doing this. It will be taken as a weakness and it will give a wrong message. This is the view expressed by the Congress leaders. So we have to understand Siddaramaiah ji is the strength of the Congress, but it also has become the weakness of the Congress. So Siddaramaiah is not carrying and not able to carry the total Congress cadre and Congress party people with himself.
Right. We'll have to wait and see. The exit poll results are expected in less than 2 hours from now. I'm going to have to wrap it for the moment. 224 seats in this assembly. The halfway mark is 113. The votes were cast for 222 seats, and we will have a special broadcast for the exit poll results at 8 p.m. tonight on WION. Thanks very much. Let me thank you all, Dr. Shashi Tharoor, P. Muralidhar Rao and Mohandas Pai. Thanks for joining us here on WION. The news continues.